Welcome to the Emerald Athlete Podcast. I'm your host, Chrissy Doyle, and on this podcast I speak to different Irish athletes about their highs, their lows, biggest battles, biggest successes, and why they fell in love with their sport. In this episode I chat to Olympic Irish swimmer Ellen Walshe. Ellen talks about swimming at the Olympics, her preparation, best achievements, and some swimming tips, and so much more. Here we go, Ellen Walshe. Ellen, how are you? You're very welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to have you on, and so you're actually our first person to have on that's into swimming, or a swimmer actually. So I can't wait to hear, I suppose, all about it, because I suppose bar going to the ocean with the family or to the beach, I know really nothing about swimming at all. So it's great to have you on.
Yeah, thanks.
How did you get it? I'm always wondering, how did you get into swimming? Because I suppose a football was thrown at me, and a hurl and a slitter, and I just wonder, how did you end up getting into swimming?
Yeah, it's definitely not in the family per se, but my parents did learn to swim at a younger age themselves. I'm from Temple Oak. I've been here my entire life, and there's a pool just 5 minutes up the road, and I think as a kind of hopefully a standard, and I'm very fortunate to have a pool kind of on my doorstep, that I was able to learn to swim at a young age. So I started lessons at 4 years old, and kind of moved through the rounds between the different groups in swimming, and ended up in the club. I have an older sibling and 2 younger siblings, and kind of followed my older sister kind of through the club, and I guess I haven't left since. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into it. It was kind of just learn, as my parents always wanted us to learn to swim, but I guess we never thought that I'd make it all the way to the Olympics from just to kind of learn to swim at 4.
Jeez, it's unbelievable, yeah. And would you would have gone frequently then? Because let's say I would have let's say trained twice a week and a game at the weekend growing up. Would you just went frequently during the week and stuff?
Yeah, so in swimming lessons, it's kind of just once a week until you kind of complete it, I guess. Complete the rounds, which can vary ages depending on the person. It's not a set age. I joined the club at 7, and then 7 years old, 8 years old, and then kind of began to train, kind of do sessions. You kind of a set was written out for you to complete with the coach. And that kind of mean maybe twice to 3 times a week. And then as you grow up through the club, it kind of gets more and more. And now we're up to 9-10 sessions in the pool. So it's very different to that once a week learn to swim. So yeah. Yeah.
And would it been I suppose when you're getting maybe a small bit older in your teens, would there been a nice kind of, I know it's very individualised maybe, but a good group of you there with kind of friends and the social aspect to it too? Was that there as well?
Yeah, I'm still part of the club. They play a massive role in my career, and they're great to kind of have alongside and to represent. I train a little bit with the top group, maybe once or twice a week, because I train a bit later. They have school, so I do get to sleep in a little bit more. But there is sessions that we overlap on, and it's kind of great to have that kind of group to kind of push you on and kind of show them my skills, and they're well capable athletes as well themselves, so it's kind of nice to have that. But yeah, I do miss my old group. I do think about it when I am in training with them, how I used to kind of grow up through the rounds with these guys. But yeah, I'm a bit older than them now, so you're kind of missing that kind of side of it, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, and just when I hear you kind of talking and that you're swimming with them, if you had any tips, I suppose, for any swimmers or people that would love to get into it, what are some sort of, I suppose, tips that you might give them?
Yeah, I guess swimming is kind of something I picked up when I was younger. I wouldn't say you're born a swimmer. I wouldn't say you're kind of naturally born anything, really. It's taken many years to be at the level that I'm at, and I think it's a hard enough skill between the breathing and the technique and stuff to kind of pick up. But yeah, anyone that's kind of interested in swimming and has kind of done it to a club level, it's just focusing on the small things, the technique, and working with your coach. And I guess the main thing is having fun as well. It's hard to enjoy it kind of through school, early mornings and a day of school and homework and training again, and it definitely years I struggled. But if you can get through that, I think hopefully you'll come out the other side better.
Yeah, definitely. And I know you said you went when you were 4. I'd say that's definitely an advantage, because I'd say I would always think as you get older, the more the fear comes in of actually getting into the water and, am I going to be able to hold myself up here? Am I going to be able to swim? But as you say, maybe when you start young, it's just like an advantage just to kind of get into the swing of things.
Yeah, I think as I've kind of moved through the kind of group stages, and I now teach at the pool myself, so kind of like learning through the kids when I was that age, it's great to kind of see a full circle moment. And yeah, I've been working there since I was 16. I started in the water with the kids and then moved up through a level 1 to a level 2 teacher, and yeah, I love that side of it. I work myself once a week in the pool, kind of to give back to these kids. And I started here at one stage. I was nothing special at this age. I was just another kid with armbands on, just looking to learn to swim. So yeah, it kind of is a full circle moment, and we are so fortunate enough to have that pool on the doorstep. I know people are crying out for pools in rural areas in Ireland specifically, and yeah, we're just fortunate enough to have it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic, and it's such a great outlet and exercise for people. There should be pools kind of everywhere. It should be kind of a thing where your primary school would definitely go to the pool, and it's, obviously part of the curriculum. Like, so I would definitely agree with you on that. It should be. And Ellen, was there kind of a moment, a light bulb moment, I suppose, where it just went off that you thought, I'm actually really good at this sport, and this is my sport, I'm actually really good at it, and this is something maybe I have to go after? Did you have that moment?
Yeah, it's actually so funny because so many people ask me this, and like, my dream as a kid was to be a dentist. I don't know where it came from. My parents are both business, they're both accountants, so there's nothing there dentist wise. No one that I know of in my family kind of is medical. So yeah, it was kind of a funny one all through primary school. It was dentist. I wanted to be a dentist, and then I kind of hit school, and that was when you saw the points. I think that quickly swifted away. But yeah, I think my leaving cert year, there was a teacher in my school that always made me try say, "Oh, you're going to be an Olympian." And I was like, always like, no, no, no. Like, not that I probably thought I couldn't, just saying that out loud is very scary. I would think myself. I'd be quite personal with my kind of goals and stuff. Don't like to say them too loud. And then after school, we had COVID, so I didn't sit the leave, and we had a whole year off to try qualify for the next Olympics. And I remember just showing up to trials and kind of was close enough to the time in the heats, and then when we headed into the final, I kind of just felt like something clicked inside me, and I was like, I think I could do this tonight. And I think that was the moment I felt like I could hopefully make a career from this. It's not always possible. I think you can always go to Olympics and hope that kind of you might get put on like funding and stuff like that, but it's really not an easy process. And when you're hitting into your late teens, early 20s, like, I guess it's a make or break if it's college or if it's sport. So in the type of sport that I do. So yeah, I think that was kind of the moment kind of after first qualification that I kind of was like, okay, maybe this could be possible.
Yeah. And what's it like, those moments, I suppose, going to world and European championships? Is it just like, I'm in the zone here, I have like a job to do? Is it very relaxed? What's kind of the whole experience like, or how did you feel, I suppose, at the time?
I think people always say, like, anytime you stand on the block, like at home in Ireland, if it's like a Leinster competition, which wouldn't be kind of ranked as high as kind of Irish nationals or worlds, they kind of be like, oh, you must get known, like, not nervous. Like, I think you get nervous for every race. Like, you care so much, you've trained your life for these moments, and racing doesn't come very often in Ireland. We don't race every week, it's not possible. So every time you stand on the block, you want to be better. I know where I've been in these particular events, so you just want to be in and around that all the time, and it's not always possible. But every time you stand on the block, no matter if it's World, Europeans, Leinsters, a smaller competition, you're still nervous. You still care. So yeah, every time is more, I guess some of them are more pressurizing, but it's pressure you put on yourself as well. And learning to control that over the years has been kind of hard.
Yeah, no, I'd say so. I could just imagine just ready to jump into the water. It's just like a massive moment just to get yourself ready and not. I could see myself just nearly going in before you're supposed to go. If you get what I mean, I'd say that
Yeah.
time even is really hard. And how finicky are the rules, Ellen, in terms of like? Is there many rules for when you're in that you can't do? Because whenever I watch, all I just see is everyone going so quick and the technique's on point. But how talk to me a little bit about the rules, maybe, that people wouldn't know.
There's definitely rules. There's rules in everything, you know. So kind of a couple of like the main ones, like there's a 15-meter mark. You're not allowed past it under the water. You have to be up before that 15-meter mark. I guess tumble turns finishes. It's finishing with your full hand on the wall. Turning, your 2 feet have to plant on the wall. There's a kind of back to breast turn. You have to be 90. I think it's 180 degrees. Well, you have to be in half anyways. Yeah, there's a couple of rules. I guess underwater kicks on breaststroke, you're only allowed to do one. So yeah, there's feet together on breaststroke. Like there's a whole load of different kind of rules. I could list them all. I actually probably couldn't.
And would you see, because I really wouldn't know, would you see many people being pulled for them, or is it generally there are rules there, but 90%, 99% of the time they're never kind of called up upon or whatever like that, people just don't do it, or is it?
At major meets, there's cameras in the water and cameras over the top of the water. So like a relay would be very big to watch because the breaking off the blocks. So we have cameras up above the blocks to kind of catch that kind of stuff. It would be big, and at least in most competitions, big or small, you'd probably see a DQ. They're not nice to see. They're not easy to get. In terms of when you are DQ'd, it's mentally it's not great. Especially when it's something so silly that you shouldn't kind of be doing. But listen, they happen to the best of us. But yeah, no, they would be pulled up on quite frequently. In Ireland, it's a bit harder. We haven't really got the technology in the water. We have no technology in the water, so it's just eyes. But yeah, when you get to them big meets, you don't get away with it, no.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that have the cameras obviously is really handy, as well, because I was just thinking it would be really kind of hard to spot, definitely.
Yeah.
And Ellen, what would you say was your, I suppose, best exercise? Because I know there's kind of different events and, not even exercise. What's your favourite event that you would do?
My favourite is the 200 IM. I just think it's long enough to kind of relax into it, but it's quick enough that it goes pretty quick. The 100 IM is just a bit too fast for me. The 400 is just way too long. But the 200's that kind of sweet spot there that you can relax in terms of think about what you're doing. It's not all just whoa, you're like on a wheel, you can't get off. You can kind of settle a little bit, but yeah, no, I love the 200 IM.
And do you not find that, like, is it because it's 200 meters? Is it like over in a flash for you, really? Like, is it like just like the minute it starts, it feels like it's over, or is it actually you feel when you're doing it like this it's actually a really long time?
I guess when you're in it, you're thinking about everything you've kind of worked on over the years, like if that's a technique thing or a stroke count. No, I can definitely think in the race. I know, like, and it probably does go on for longer than you think, yeah. You don't ever feel like it's over in a second. Like, you can dive in and be like, okay, I'm in the water now. Like, you can think. Well, I can anyways, but the shorter sprinter stuff now, like, you wouldn't be able to think you'd be wasting energy and time and everything. So they're so fast, so, yeah.
Yeah, no, and just another thing I was wondering as well, because 200 metres, obviously, if you ask me to swim 10 metres, I would say I'm out of breath. But would you feel you're kind of so conditioned maybe and prepared for it by the time you're done? Would you be out of breath getting out of the water? Like, would you be absolutely out on your feet, I suppose, is the phrase that people would use? Like, would you be at the time?
I think every race you dive into, you're gonna give it everything you have. So yeah, I'd like to think that after each race, I've can touch and say, yeah, I gave that a good shot. Definitely when you're younger, you're probably like, oh yeah, whatever. But I think every race, it's a moment to improve. It's a time to get better and time to learn from mistakes and work on new things. So you're trying to use every race to the best of your ability. Yeah.
Yeah, and tell me as well, the gold medal in Poland, I'm going to guess is your favourite. I'm going to go with that as my guess. But what would be your favourite, I suppose, moment so far that you've had? I know I'm putting you on the spot now, but if there's one that comes to your head.
Yeah, like the gold medal is definitely so special. It's so special to, I think, a lot of people. I think definitely for the club as well, we've never got that. We've never made it that far, and my for my family too. Like we've put a lot of years into this, and I think to stand on the top of a podium is so special. I never knew what it was like. I've kind of been second a few times at these big meets and third, but first is amazing. I think to hear the Irish anthem as well for you, a moment for you, your family. My coach was over there as well, and yeah, it was super special. But yeah, something in my mind, like I think walking out to the Olympic final, I think was pretty big as well. Probably be between the two of them. I guess the medal, like it's there for life, and it's something a lot of people would remember. Rather than for me, I guess the final was just a dream to be an Olympian and a dream to walk out to an Olympic final. So I guess they're both pretty good. If I had to really pick, maybe the European medal recently. Yeah, it's still very fresh. So yeah.
Yeah, that works. And do you know what? In fairness, two good ones to pick from. To be fair, you can't really ask for much more when you think about it.
Yeah.
And what? Tell me, because I suppose the Olympics is so big. What's that like individually? Just that whole occasion. Is there a mix between like, do all the kind of the Irish groups get together and stuff like that, or are you just like in your bubble with your coaches, your trainers, and other swimmers, or what's that dynamic like?
Yeah, I've been to two Olympic Games and both were extremely different. Obviously, Tokyo was during COVID, so it was, people would kind of say it wasn't really an Olympics. But I guess when you dive in, you touch the wall, you're an Olympian for life. So no one can take that moment away from you. But yeah, there was definitely a huge difference between Tokyo and Paris. I guess for me, like more of a mature athlete and just kind of knowing the ropes. I felt like I was just a ball of emotion in Tokyo. I didn't know what I was doing. I qualified very late and got straight on a plane to Japan 3 weeks later and just hadn't a clue what was going on, really. Just very lost. But Paris was special, and it is very different to Worlds and Europeans. It's bigger, it's enormous. Emotions are high. The village is it can be daunting at times, but pretty epic to be involved in it. I guess my family and friends are in Paris as well with me, so didn't have that in Tokyo. But yeah, there's probably added pressure. Like Olympics is only every 4 years, so you kind of you train in 4 years. You train in blocks of 4 years, so that's the pinnacle at the end if you can get there. So yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And like social media and stuff, like your phone, like would you literally say there's so much distraction on my phone? Did you kind of like turn it off, throw it away, or were you just like, I know this is part of the parcel, let's say, and that's it? Or what way did you work that?
Social media is a funny thing. I think like it's so important to kind of focus on the race. That's what you've trained for. You've trained to swim this particular event. You've trained your whole life for this small moment that you're going to get, and you need to soak it all up in the moment. But I guess the background noise is the media. And obviously we do it after kind of races in terms of kind of TV footage and stuff. But yeah, your phone is buzzing and it's hard to kind of keep up with it. But I think you kind of have to look at it every now and again and go, oh my God, like everyone's texting me. And it's really cool. But it's extremely distracting. Yeah, I shared with Mona Makshari, the Olympic medalist from Paris, and we were up till all hours after she had won her medal, and it was such a special moment for her, and I couldn't even believe there's an Olympic medal in the room. Like, it was crazy, like, and we were both so giddy, so excited, and like the competition's still going on, and her phone's buzzing, everyone's phone's buzzing, like media on the Irish team is looking for her, and it was so much to handle. I think even for me to be like, oh my goodness, I don't know how she got through it and was able to stand back on the block, because the media is something else, but you do have to enjoy that because it fades very quickly, and it's over now. And sure, like, we remember them small exciting moments, like looking at our phones and everyone's sending messages, but it's over now, and I think you kind of did have to soak it up at the time. But yeah, it's a tricky one to kind of manage, and then it depends how you're racing as well. If it's really good and it's medals, the media's crazy, and then if it's not kind of what you want, you can deal with the side of media you don't really want to deal with. So yeah, it can be challenging.
Yeah, no, I can just, because you're dead right to say it as well. Like, if you're in the moment, you want to enjoy it as much as you can, because as you say, 2 weeks later, maybe you get coming home, maybe everyone's saying it, and then next minute it's over and it's done with. So yeah, you're dead right to kind of enjoy it. At the time, I'd say that was an unbelievable feeling in the room just with the gold medal. Like, I can't even kind of realize what it would have been like. Just unreal. And
yeah, it was amazing for her, and I think I've roomed with her kind of at Tokyo as well, so we'd kind of known each other quite well, and we'd be very pally, and it was so exciting. But we didn't get to sleep till 4 a.m. and it was just, we've got races to race either the next day and stuff, or the following day. So yeah, it's kind of hard because obviously Ireland don't win medals very easily. So when we did, it's very hard to kind of keep the focus on what we're here for. So yeah.
Yeah, geez, unreal. And were you all staying? I think you mentioned it there. The village, is that just like the athletes' village where all the athletes go just to kind of stay? Is that kind of the place? Yeah.
Yeah, so they build, sometimes they're brand new, sometimes they're kind of student accommodation, but yeah, they try build a block of apartments.
Right.
Around kind of where the complexes would be, and it's called the village, and it's all security guarded off, like the public can't walk into it. And your designated building. So Ireland had a building, I think we were sharing with Kenya in Paris. So Kenya had the bottom, we had the top. And then you have the food hall, and there's different things to do around the village. But yeah, we had like 3 or 4 floors of one building. And we have team areas, so it was kind of nice to meet other athletes, because in Tokyo we weren't really, well, we kind of did a little bit, but I felt like kind of in Paris we had a special room we could go to, and we could all watch people's kind of races and matches and competition and stuff together. So that was really nice. But it is kind of hard to mingle with other teams because everyone's on such a strict schedule themselves. So
yeah. And that's another thing that I never think of for athletes too. Actually being able to relax when you're not going maybe, and having a look at the other sports or the other teams going, is actually, I'd say that's fantastic too, because while you are competing, which is deadly because you're a high level athlete, you're getting a free ticket almost to kind of go and see, other great athletes, perform as well. Yeah. That's...
Yeah, I think in Paris there were so many people, we only were able to go watch I think you only were able to get like 1 ticket a day to go and watch another sport. But swimming goes on for so long, we miss so many sports. So you're kind of, at the end you have athletics, but obviously we mightn't have anyone competing that day. So it's a pity, you get to miss some of the big boxing fights because you're competing yourself. But sure, look, we're all there for the same reason. And it's nice to kind of see them in the team area, like walking around and then wishing them good luck, and they say the same to you. And it was a really great team we had in Paris, and I guess to kind of watch like the boxers per se, like with their weigh-ins in the morning, and it's just so different to swimming. So yeah, no, it's kind of good to see an insight in their kind of sports too.
Yeah, I'd imagine the buzz just around it all is just fantastic. And talk to me, Ellen, as well. I'm always curious because you hear the crazy thing about Michael Phelps, let's say, and his crazy calorie count or that he would have each day and stuff. What does a typical day for you look like, I suppose, in terms of training, nutrition, and all that?
Yeah, so I kind of would train once to twice a day. It kind of does change different times of the year, but kind of up in the morning around like 7:30 in the water, 8 to 10, and then I'd have a gym session 10 to 11. Then I get home, grab something to eat. I might get a nap in. It depends. Like I might be doing other things, but hopefully, normally try get a nap in, and then I might have a run to do in the afternoon, or some days I might have double swimming. So yeah, like my schedule's probably not as busy as a 9 to 5. But like I feel like I'm busy all the time, so that's important. But yeah, like some days we'll have double training. Some days on Wednesdays I've got work during the day. So it's one session in the morning, gym, and then straight to work for a few hours. So yeah, it just depends. Sometimes I'm in school giving talks and stuff. So each week is probably pretty different between run, swim, Pilates. Yeah, loads of different bits.
Yeah, and just, when you say gym, because I wouldn't know for swimming, to be honest, is it all working, let's say, your upper body strength, or is it kind of whole body, or is it like the legs for the power? What way would you work that, or does it work out?
Swimming is a whole body movement through all the strokes, so you train everything. Everyone is different sizes. I'm a pretty probably short swimmer. I'd only be 5'3". I race a lot of 6-footers. But yeah, everyone has different probably gym programs that they do. Mine might be more circuit based than others. Just depends on whatever suits you and your body and prevents you from getting injured, I guess.
Yeah, and do you get to take a time off then, Ellen, where, let's say, I know you obviously train hard every day, but are you able to kind of map out maybe a couple of weeks during the year where you can kind of, I don't know, take a holiday, take a break, or you have some downtime, or is it just like, this is my opportunity, I'm in prime time, and it's just full on?
We wouldn't really, like, each year is very different depending on where Worlds or Europeans falls in the summer. So Europeans is quite late this year, and we've got another kind of big competition the end of September, start of October. So trying to find time in there, it's quite tight. You've only got kind of 6 weeks to play with. Just depends on how you plan out your year. Mightn't swim at the start of October, I'm not sure yet, but it's definitely an idea on my mind that I'd like to do. So yeah, time off is tricky. I do usually get hopefully like between 8 to 10 days in the summer. I do try to get a bit of running done just to be kind of ticking over. Got a bit of time off over Christmas, which meant I just had like less mileage to do in the pool. So it's not really time off, it's just less mileage. So yeah, you're still kind of ticking over all the time. I guess with the athlete mindset that I have, like I don't like to feel kind of out of shape or like I'm losing out on moving forward. So I always tick over myself anyways. I think the week I came back from Worlds, I ran like nearly 80k or something in 1 week. Like I don't know why. Like I just feel like I'm like, yeah, I'm finished swimming, but I need to do something else. So yeah, I do like to stay fit myself and just kind of tick over. But yeah, sometimes I probably do go overboard.
The fear of not being fit when you're still incredibly fit is just, yeah.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't know what happens. I just go crazy. I don't know.
But you know what?
I just feel like I have to get like something for myself, push myself to do something each day. And when I don't do that, even when I'm off for 2 days, like I'm like, oh my God, I need to do something. So I think it's even just an itch myself. I'm like, oh no, I need to get out for a run, like just for headspace as well, like I guess so.
Yeah, the feel good factor at the end is always
yeah, definitely.
And it's amazing though how you would think 2 days it's almost I've lost everything or I'm just not up to scratch.
Yeah.
You know, it's mad.
Like even I think I ran a good bit, like I ran a lot actually on my holidays and stuff. And when I got back in the woods, I can't breathe. Can't breathe. Everything, I'm like, how am I unfit? Like, but like swimming's so different to land-based sport, but you get back into swimming things pretty quickly. And I think this year especially, actually, I was pretty good at getting back in, kind of hitting kind of high mileage in the water pretty quick, which was good. Must have been the running paying off, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
My coach would think otherwise, but sure, look, whatever.
Well, if you're running that much and you're doing swimming as well, you can't be unfit. That's all I'd say. Anyway, that's for definite, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And tell me, I don't want to pass by, Ellen, without mentioning this as well, because I know as Irish people, we're very modest and not great at kind of celebrating our achievements sometimes. But winning Female Athlete of the Year must have been, a great moment for you and something you would have been very proud of.
The Swim Ireland Award, is it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, no, I think we have such big talent coming up through the sport as well. We have a great kind of people who've kind of came from junior into senior very quickly, making world finals and stuff, and winning their last kind of European juniors, winning gold medals and silver medals and stuff. And like, I didn't do that in my day. I didn't kind of quickly jump into senior myself very easily. So I think we have great talent coming behind. But yes, I think to get the award and get the recognition for what I'm doing in a club-based program is exceptional. A lot of our athletes would be national centres or training abroad, if that's America, Australia, the UK. A lot of our athletes would. So yeah, I think it's great to get the recognition. So yeah, delighted with it.
Yeah, no, it's unreal, and I agree with you because I just feel sometimes athletes put in so much effort, and it's not until, as you say, you're on the podium or you've won something where you actually get the recognition. But yet, if you had a kind of a camera or a clip of all the trainings you did throughout the year, that's the most work, or what you should really kind of be rewarded for, get recognition for.
Yeah. It doesn't come often, so I guess to enjoy the moment is important as well. It's kind of hard to kind of look back and think about the medals and the Irish records and the competitions that you have competed at, because you're just always looking forward all the time.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking of looking forward, because I suppose we've gone through your journey, what's next for you, Ellen, or what's next on the list for you?
We've got a European long course in the summer, so that's kind of the slightly longer pool in Paris. So no long haul travel this year, which is nice because we've done a lot of Japan, South Korea a few times. We were just in Singapore there, and it's long haul travel, which is very taxing on the body and leads to illness and some injuries and stuff. So it's nice just to pop across to Paris, hopefully in the summer, and compete there. It's not an unfamiliar place. I hopefully will compete in a competition they're holding there in March in the same pool. So that'd be kind of the first time I've kind of been in the pool, and then hopefully head back in the summer and be back in the same venue. So I've never kind of been to a pool and then racing it. So that's kind of a bit different.
Yeah, and it's very good. And would you get to see Paris now, Ellen, or is it just would you get to make a holiday of it, or is it literally? Because I spoke to Breda O'Keefe on the podcast before, and she literally would say for a marathon she would fly in, fly out. Would you actually get some time to travel and do, or are you the same?
Yeah, so you travel as part of the national team, the team that they select to travel, and it's a fly in maybe a few days before and a fly out the morning after. There's no stopping. It's not a holiday. It's a business trip. Everyone laughs when I say that, and it is work for me.
I more so wish it was a holiday for you. That's why I'm laughing, because it's just the way it's a business trip. Yeah,
business trip. That's important. But yeah, if we add it on ourselves, it comes at our own expense. So I know in Singapore, me and Mona booked an extra 2 nights. Just being that side of the world, it's amazing. And I guess to do 2 days of cramming, we were absolutely wrecked. It's hard being a tourist, it was a lot of work trying to nail all the places, but we had a great 2 days and just to spend that bit of time. But in Paris, I'm not sure kind of the plan. Obviously being selected onto the team will be the most important thing in April. Try get that, and then it will just depend on timings, I guess, if you can spend an extra 48 hours or 24 hours over there.
Yeah, it'd be just nice, because I feel you kind of put your effort into the event and you do what you can do. It'd be just nice for them to give you nearly that time, just to spend just for even 2 days, as you say. And even if you're wrecked from seeing everything, at least you can relax and get home after it,
Yeah, it's hard, because when the team could be mixed between seniors and juniors, and if you're under 18, you can't be unsupervised and stuff. So it's just probably better to just leave, and I guess if anyone stays on, they're over 18 or they're with parental guidance, so it's not under the national team again. But yeah, hopefully might get to spend a couple of extra days in Paris. We'll see. It's a lovely city, so.
Yeah. I was going to say, not the worst place, to get a few days in, to be fair.
No, it's not. It's quite a nice place to hop along. Like, Poland was freezing. I wouldn't have wanted to spend any longer. It was too cold for me. Apparently it was lovely, though. My parents flew over and they said there was lovely old town and stuff. But sure, we see none of that. We see the hotel and the pool and that's it. Like, you don't really appreciate where you kind of are going, unfortunately.
Yeah, and with your parents, when you mention, obviously, parents being parents, are they the number one fans? They travel everywhere with you to kind of go and support you, or do they go when they can, or what way do they work it?
Yeah, I think in the last couple of years, they tried to get to as much as they can. Big competitions, if that's Singapore, or they were in Poland as well, they were at Paris. Because, you never know how long it's going to last, and eventually the day will come where I will retire and there'll be no more. So yeah, I think they tried to come to as much as they can, and it's special having them in the crowd. And I think to stand on the podium in December and for them to be in the crowd with the Irish flag and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty special. It's nice to have them there.
Definitely a great feeling. It's great for your parents to be able to say, oh yeah, we have to go to Singapore next week because Ellen's going, so we want to go.
Yeah, I know.
Loads
They
of
get to
holidays.
travel the world, I know. And that's a holiday, right? Mine's a business trip.
Yeah, business trip. We won't get that mixed up. Yeah.
There's a holiday.
Yeah. Oh, no. But no, it's great for them to be able to go and support you too. That's actually fantastic. And knowing they're there as well to have that. I know you'd have a support network with the girls, which and the coaches, but having your parents there must be a great feeling too, definitely.
Yeah, it's great. It definitely adds a little extra pressure. I think sometimes. But yeah, I don't really look up. It depends on the venue. You wouldn't actually really spot them. I wouldn't actually be looking. So yeah, you kind of see them after the race, kind of up in the sand. They'll wave the flag and stuff. So that's when you're like, yeah. So I don't really want to know where they're sitting most of the time.
Oh no, because you could get. I would be thinking worse. You get distracted and maybe you'd fall in or something, or you just lose concentration.
No, I just think it's just. I don't know. I don't really look up into the sands either. If you do, you're not really looking
Yeah.
But yeah, they're there. Well, they've told me they're there, so they must be somewhere.
That's the most important thing, of course.
Yeah.
And tell me, Ellen, because lots of, I suppose, athletes, including myself, would have had lots of people, I suppose, in different sports we would have looked up to. Was there anyone, I suppose, you were growing up, maybe Irish athlete, whether it be swimming or something else? It could be in terms of maybe performance, or just that you would have maybe looked up to, or might inspired you to, to persevere maybe and keep going.
Yeah, I think Ireland swimming was never huge. I think we have the most amount of athletes in their 20s now swimming at a high enough level, which I remember growing up, and I don't think I had that. I think a lot of our athletes either trained abroad or we didn't have them. We didn't have that group of 20-year-olds kind of still competing at world level. But there was a British girl, her name is Hannah Miley. You might be familiar with the name. And she's a little bit older, and she raced the 4am and multiple other. And I probably looked up to her a lot. I know my coach and her coach is her dad, was her dad, and they would kind of link in a lot. And yeah, it's kind of, I think I got to race her when I was 17, I think, for the first time in her home pool. And yeah, that was pretty cool. I don't think I think she knows who I am now, but I don't think back then. But yeah, she was pretty cool. We're both kind of similar stature and stuff. So she was a phenomenal athlete, and yeah, probably
That's
her.
very cool. That's very cool. You got to actually, be in the pool or race against someone though that you kind of looked up to as well. That's cool.
Yeah, I think I probably didn't know at the time I was looking up to her, and now looking back, you're probably like, yeah, no, she was an exceptional athlete in her day, and multiple Olympian, and yeah, she's exceptional across a lot of different strokes.
Yeah, it's such a pity to hear, because I'm going to be honest with you, I could not think off the top of my head a swimmer when I was growing up either, and I was hoping that you might be able to say one to me, but what a pity that is. But I'm glad the likes of yourself now is there that now when young girls are growing up, let's say that they do have someone maybe that they can look up to and say, I'm watching this swimmer, Ellen's doing great, and it can, inspire them, because you didn't have that as much. So that's actually great that, that's happening now. And
we definitely didn't have it, and we wouldn't. I think I raced at a good few of the Leinster meets and Irish meets, and a lot of our Irish athletes do now, but back when we were 13, 14, 15, like, we didn't have any senior athletes. I was on the podium and the upcoming, so I think to kind of see, hopefully the younger ones see us now and they're like, they're so old. I'm like, I know. But hopefully, we inspire them to kind of swim into, if it's their late teens or 20s, and kind of keep moving forward, because the sport is kind of in a great place at the moment for Irish swimming.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I just hope it kind of keeps going up more and more. Can you actually see, I suppose, swimming becoming more popular and kind of being more developed and all? Would you see that kind of year on year? Is it something you'd notice?
I think it's more popular in terms of kids in lessons. I'm not sure if it's more popular in terms of like competitiveness of it as a kind of young teen. There's definitely talent there, but probably not as much as when I was younger. We had a good few girls making teams. We'd bring big junior teams away, and I don't think we quite have that now. I'm not too sure. We've kind of obviously had COVID and a big gap in the sport. Yeah. So, there's still kind of people coming through that are probably 2 years behind their actual development. But there's definitely talent there in the sport. You kind of saw it there in December. Some of our juniors at Irish short course and stuff. But, there probably definitely still is a gap in Irish swimming in terms of that kind of younger age group pushing into senior. There's kind of a gap there.
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe, as you say, that the COVID gap might have caused it, and then it'll, pick up again, and it'll just get back going, like you say, because it's a great sport and it deserves a lot of attention, and it deserves to be kind of a high status, in Ireland too, and competing 100%.
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like, the early mornings are extremely tough for anybody. It doesn't matter age or not, in school, out of school. Getting up at 4:30 in the morning to be in the pool for 5 isn't easy, and then heading for a full day of school, if that's junior cert, leaving cert, fourth year, it doesn't matter. So I think that can kind of push people away. It's just easier to go play GA in the afternoon or after school hours with your pals, bit of a laugh. Swimming's twice a day, and it's hard. It's not easy. So it's a big commitment to be a swimmer, I think, definitely through your kind of teenage years.
Yeah, and you're getting in the cold as well. It's just in the water. Yeah, it is different. Maybe the book.
There's definitely cold on the pitches too. But
that's true too.
I suppose as well. Swimming's all year round. You get a gap in the GA and other sports. And it's team. It's a bit more enjoyable, maybe, that some people would feel. That kind of competing with a team is different. We're so individual, and you don't get to do much talking and training because there's intervals you need to make and bits and bobs like that. So, it definitely, I think, is very different, and it's very demanding.
Yeah, 100%. If they could only get some, did you ever read the book, what's it, the 5 a.m. Club, just to maybe convince a few people that it's good to get up early and get started.
I know. You're half a day ahead of half the people when you get to school,
Yeah, so much accomplished, yeah. I know. But it's
now,
much easier.
You're falling asleep as well, but sure, look.
We'll get over that. Swimming is done, we'll get over that. Ellen, thanks very much for coming onto the podcast. It's been great to chat to you and hear about your journey. And I'm really hoping that swimming, as I said, is going to pick up some more. And I wish you all the best in Paris. Thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Emerald Athlete podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to leave a review. And don't forget to check out our Instagram page, the Emerald Athlete Podcast.